More than 24 hours have passed since US imposed travel ban on Eratia and 11 other countries. Some countries have announced retaliatory action against the US. One African country took a bold action in response to US decision. What is Eratia doing? Second story is about a conflict which seems to be an ethnic conflict which erupted today in Awareda. Muslims are celebrating Eid al-Adha today, a religious festival, and Eid al-Adha gatherings could not be held in this Wareda because of the ethnic violence there. Let's start with the first story, which is about US action on some countries. Yesterday, the president signed an executive order putting a complete ban on the nationals of 12 countries. All types of visas banned. Eratia is one of these 12 countries. Eratia, Somalia, Sudan, Chad, Libya, uh, Afghanistan, Haiti, etc. 12 countries are on the list. We have been hearing that the new government of Donald Trump is not in support of stringent measures against the Eritrean government of Isaias Afwerki. Eratia and US have not been on good terms for over 2 decades. So there was a hope that maybe Republicans led by Trump would start a new era of better relations with the Eritrean government. But yesterday's decision of imposition of travel uh, restrictions have led to a new debate. Will US and Eratia start a new era of better relations, or are they back to square one? Some countries are responding. They are taking retaliatory action on the US. Chad made a big decision. Chad has announced a counter ban on a visa for US nationals. Chad is led by Mohammed Dabi, Idris Dabi's son, and Chad is, by the way, a key UAE ally. UAE is interfering in Sudan through Chad. Chad shares border with Sudan. And we know that how close UAE is to the US. But Chad is hitting back at the US, saying Chad is one of the countries on the list, 12 country list, whose nationals have been banned from entering the US. Why is that? Eratia is silent. 24 hours passed, not a single statement from anyone. Isaias Afwerki, the president, silent. Yemeni Gebremeskel, Minister of Information, who is quick to respond to Ethiopian leader statements, silent. Minister of Information, no statement, no condemnation by the Eratian government. Why? Well, who will suffer because of this decision? Mainly people will suffer. The government won't suffer, I think. Why? Because the government has not been hoping, Eritrean government, that a lot of Eritreans will be allowed to enter the US. US policy on new arrivals is very strict. Those Eritreans who are in the US but they don't have valid documents, they don't have all the required documents, they could be in trouble. They'll suffer. And those Eritreans who want to visit their family members in the US, they'll suffer. US won't issue visit visas to them. Government won't suffer a lot because travel restrictions won't lead to a disruption in the flow of remittances from the US to Eratia. The day US imposed a ban on flow of remittances from the US to Eratia, then you will see Eratian government speak. Eratia claims to be a champion of protecting African interests. Isaias Afwerki has been accusing the West and the US of plundering African resources. Now, when Eratians have been banned from entering the US, Isaias Afwerki government is silent. Chad is issuing a counter ban. Why? Is Isaias Afwerki government still hopeful that Trump will improve ties with Eratia? That is why Eratia should not take any counter action or issue any strong statement. Let's see. We'll have to wait. So far, no statement from Eratia. Secondly, viewers, an ethnic conflict erupted today when Muslims are celebrating Eid al-Adha, and in the Wareda where this conflict happened, religious Muslim gatherings could not be held. I'm talking about Benishangul Gumuz region of Ethiopia, Bolan Wareda. Bolan is in Matakal zone of the Benishangul Gumuz region. And today, this morning rather, clashes erupted between Oromo and Gumuz residents of Bolan. Casualties are being reported, 5 casualties being reported so far, several injured, some houses were damaged too. Some sources are accusing Ola, that Ola is involved in this attack. Hard for me to understand how Ola is involved because Bolan does not share border with Oromia. Bolan is in Matakal zone. Matakal zone does not share border with Oromia. It shares border with Amhara region, I think. Matakal shares border with Kamashi zone of BG. Kamashi shares border with Oromia. It means in order to enter Bolan, Ola fighters will have to pass through Kamashi or will have to pass through Amhara region. It does not make sense. How were they able to cross into Bolan through Amhara? Maybe through Kamashi too. Most sources say the fighting was between local Oromos and Gomas people. Oromos live in Bolan. Oromos live there, Amharas too, Gomas too. In the past, fighting in Bolan erupted on many occasions, but the fighting was mainly between Amharas and Gomas. Amhara hardliners, they say that Matakal zone is part of the Amhara region. A few days ago, Amhara Fano National Force issued a statement saying that one of the demands of Amhara Fano National Force is that Matakal should be part of the Amhara region. It was part of Amhara. It was annexed by BG, so it should return to Amhara. So Matakal is claimed by Amhara region-based groups, not by the Oromo Liberation Army. A few days ago, 2 to 3 days ago, Boro Democratic Party issued a statement, Gomas Party, and it called for establishment of a separate regional state in Matakal. It wants Matakal to be a separate, under Ethiopia, a separate regional state, not part of BG. And that proposal was criticized by both the Gomas and Amharas. Gomas want Matakal to remain part of BG. Amharas want, Amhara groups want Matakal to be part of the Amhara region. It seems to be a conflict which was internal conflict in Bolan between two communities. Did Ola manage to enter Bolan? I'm not sure about it, but we're working on it. If we find any verification, then we'll share it with you. Thank you for watching.